15-week pregnancy vlog. So I am 15 weeks pregnant currently, almost 16 weeks while I'm doing this, because I'm doing it at the end of the week as opposed to like the beginning of the week, because it makes more sense to me. So basically I've noticed there's not really been that much of a change in the bump, but I've noticed that it looks like it's a bit more higher now than lower. So that's kind of interesting, and a lot of people, you know, they put that down to it being a girl, but I think it's all about the shape of your body. I don't know if I believe in the whole that looks like a boy, that looks like a girl thing, because we all lie really differently, like body-wise. Something else to touch upon with week 15 is I've taken my bras back to Marks and Spencer's and I got a full refund, so woohoo! And then after that I was a little bit stuck because me and Niall went into Manchester and I wanted to go and get fitted at Bravissimo, you know, because they're supposed to be really good at fitting. I didn't really necessarily want to buy my bras there because I know they can be quite expensive, and I don't really want to fork out a lot of money for a bra that like I'm gonna wear temporarily and then after like the baby's born and my boobs shrink or whatever, depending on my body again, I didn't want to have to pay like £45 for like one bra or like even more than that. So I had a bit of mooching around and I went to Ann Summers. Big mistake. There was absolutely nothing there. Someone had recommended it to me and they didn't have anything. It was just all really like hardwired bras, like uncomfortable bras, aka sexy bras. I wouldn't mind like, you know, buying a pretty sexy bra, but I wanted something that was, you know, comfortable for me, supportive, the right size. I wanted to get remeasured after Marks and Spencer's, you know, wrongly measured me because they measured me at a 34D. I think it was 34D? Yeah, they measured me at a 34D, but it's different for each store you go to, really. But those bras were really uncomfortable, so I went to Bravissimo and I'd literally got there just as they were shut in, but I was determined to get a new bra that day. So I'd got my refund from Marks and Spencer's and that's when I was like, I am going to get a bra today no matter what. Went to Ann Summers, was like nope. Went to a few other stores and it was like nope. Primark was a massive no because couldn't find anything in there that was like good enough quality and anything that was stretchy enough and comfortable enough, like, and I didn't want a sports bra. I made it very clear to myself I did not want a sports bra, like seriously. I've refocused my camera so I'm a little bit closer because the lighting went a little bit weird then. I don't know if it went weird on the actual recording, but it went weird on my little screen thing. So yeah, so basically I ended up going to La Senza, who happened to have a massive sale going on. It was basically you buy one bra that had been reduced from 30 quid to 15 quid and you could buy the next bra half price. So I thought that was a really good deal, and I've always been a massive fan of La Senza bras. And at first like I got refitted and she told me that I was more or less like just about a 34, like just about a 34 around. She said there was no way in hell I was a 36, that would have been way too big, and she said that I was literally just a 34. And the last time I'd been measured there, I was a 32, and then the time after that, I was almost a 34, but still a 32. So it's a lot to do with the bra shop, I think, where you're getting measured and all of those things. But basically what I decided to do was, in the end, after a load of like, I couldn't decide for ages, I was just kind of like, I don't know what to do. But then in the long run, I just ended up, I was like, I'm gonna get a La Senza bra. My two favourite places to like get lingerie and bras and stuff from anyway, like before I got pregnant, was La Senza and where else? La Senza and I can't remember. My brain, pregnancy brain, I can't remember, but I have a lot of underwear and bras from La Senza anyway. I've always loved their bras. I've always found them to be really supportive and comfortable, and they do some ridiculously padded bras, like crazy padded bras, but then they've got like bras that have a little bit of support but they're not just like ah. I feel like they really cater to a lot of different things there, but I can imagine if you've got super massive boobs you'll struggle in La Senza because they only go up to a certain size. So I decided to get this really nice purple bra that was like nice and pretty, but at the same time like it was wired but soft. Purple bra. Anyway, don't get your bra out on YouTube, Jess. You're a responsible adult. Do not flash your pretty bra to the internets. But basically, I managed to sort out my bras and I ended up getting two different sizes in the end because I figured that I would try and like, you know, cater to the fact that I'm bound to grow, like my rib cage is probably going to grow and my cup size is probably going to grow again. So I ended up getting a 34D, was it 34D? Yeah, a 34D and a 36C. That might sound a little bit weird, but the way that it works is the 36C is kind of like, you know, it's like a size, it feels like a size up on me, like fit-wise, than I am now. So at the moment I'm wearing the 34D, and then I will wear the 36C once I feel like this one's getting a bit tight. But I've noticed they both fit me, and perfect on the tightest one, which is really good, but then I'll be able to loosen it, you know, as like I grow and as I need more space. So I felt that was a really good deal because it was like £15 for one bra and then like half of £15 for like the next bra, and that was like an extra £3 than the two Marks and Spencer's bras that I got. So like I got my refund and then I paid like an extra £3 on top of it. So it was kind of like, it worked out perfectly in the end for me. So I sorted out my bras, yay! I don't even know if the internets care about my bra. It's a pregnancy vlog, but I felt like the bra thing, the bra issue should be addressed because I've mentioned it in previous vlogs. Thought I noticed some stretch marks. They weren't stretch marks, it was like my underwear digging into my side. Like I proper got up in the middle of the night and was like, already? Turns out it's not even stretch marks, it was just my underwear digging in, so that was quite funny. So the other day around 3:45 in the morning I got woke up, like full on woke up by the weirdest feeling, and like at first I was just kind of like, yeah, that's gas. There's no way in hell that's the baby moving at this stage, this early. Definitely not. And I went back to sleep because I was lying on my side and I felt something like on my like left hand side, and it was the weirdest thing, and I basically wrote down in my like phone, muscle spasm, question mark, exclamation mark, question mark, or baby. Either way, it's woken me up, side face. Does anyone else do that? Like write notes in their phone to themselves and put side faces and smiley faces and things? Because I do that. Either way, like I wrote down like that I thought that it was the baby moving, but it was the weirdest thing because it wasn't like, I don't know, it was really hard to explain, but like I wrote down that it was like a muscle spasm, but it was weird because like at first it woke me up, it was like a shock to the system, and I was like, oh no, what's that, like, oh, something's not rupturing, something's not like, you know, burst on me. And then I thought, it's just gas, Jess, you're a little bit bloated. So I went back to sleep, and I was sleeping on my left hand side because they say that it's best to sleep on your left hand side because of like the circulation and the oxygen, you know, to your baby and the blood flow and blah blah. But I've just found it always comfortable sleeping on my left side since my operation. I used to be a right side sleeper or a belly sleeper, and then since my operation I became a left, like lying on my left side sleeper or lying on my back. And then once I'd recovered I lied on my stomach, but I can't lie on my stomach anymore, like at all. So basically I was lying on my side, it woke me up, I went back to sleep, and then I just got back into the same position, and I was lying a little tiny bit on my tummy when I shouldn't have been, and I felt it again, and it's like, to me that was like the baby being like, get off me, like seriously. So I was like, whoa, I think that may have been my unborn child, but I'm still not quite sure. But either way, I wrote down, if that was feeling my baby move for the first time, magical, they say. Amazingly beautiful moment, they say. Well, that is about the freakiest thing I've ever witnessed in my whole entire life. I just got woken up, involuntary muscle spasm followed by a bunch of smaller muscle spasms, and then what I can only explain is a really weird tapping sensation feeling when I was lying completely on my bed afterwards. I've moved position now and my tummy still feels really weird, and the only way that I can explain it was like, it was like a weird like muscle spasm, like the strong one, then I went back to sleep, and then another strong one in the same place, and then I went back to sleep. And then when I lie down on my belly, not my belly, my back, I could feel like this weird like snaky feeling, like I had a gummy snake or something near my belly button or whatever. It was just kind of like this weird like tapping sensation, and I can't explain it, but I was on Google and I was trying to figure out like, what does your baby moving for the first time feel like? Because I was like paranoid, but I was really interested at the same time, and I was very curious. I didn't know what to put it down to because I felt gas like bubbles and popping in my belly millions of times, but it was nothing like that. It was completely different. So anybody, if anyone knows, comment down below and just tell me if that was like anything that maybe you felt around this time, like if you've been pregnant before, like around 15 weeks, like if that's something you felt, like the likeliness of that being the baby, I don't know, but they say that between weeks 15 and 20 is when you're supposed to feel your baby move for the first time, but I haven't felt that since, like at all, so I have no idea. But I now feel like I've got this sense as well. I seem to know how the baby is lying by like instinct, like what side it's on, because I've noticed I'll get the Doppler at night time, like if I want a bit of reassurance, I just kind of want to listen to the baby, like the heartbeat or whatever. And I lie down on my bed, and nighttime they say is the best time, but like a long time after you've eaten, so that you're not got like a full tummy and like you're not bloated and things like that. So it's lying down, and I noticed this for the first time about 4 days ago, I think it was, that if I lie down on my bed, I have a funny feeling that like baby's gonna be lying on the left side or the right side. And I put the Doppler there and I pick up the heartbeat like a lot quicker than I used to. That's what I used to feel like I was doing, really listening in to try and find it, and then it would be buried among all these whooshing noises. But then like I found it more or less straight away. It just moved automatically to say like, go away mum, I'm trying to sleep, stop poking me with a Doppler. And I never press hard with it. But I can imagine that if it can feel it at all, it's kind of like, bog off, I'm trying to sleep, man. Seriously. That's really cool, and I've noticed that it lies on my left side more than my right side. Either way, that was pretty exciting, but I'm still unsure because I've not felt it again since. So I'm still a bit confused as to whether or not that was the baby moving for the first time or something else. What else have I noticed? I'm gonna sneeze. I've been sorting out all of these like things like the bras and blah blah. I finally got my Burger King, guys. It was the best Burger King I have ever had in my life. I've never really been one for cheeseburgers, but I've been craving cheeseburgers like mad. Really have. Oh my god, like crazy. I've also noticed that ever since I started having a smoothie when I wake up with my cereal, that like my digestive system and everything has been so much better. I've been having this smoothie in the morning that has like, I can't say it, but it's like Acacia berries, A-C-A-I berries. I can't say it. It's got like Acacia berries, like banana, blueberries, grapes, orange, pomegranate. I'll start my day with that and a bowl of cereal. And I've noticed that now I'm not really having that problem with, you know, my bowels, because I noticed I was starting to get a bit bunged up, which the whole of the internet wants to know about my digestive system. But either way, that's been helping. So like if anyone's pregnant and having trouble going to the toilet and stuff, then that's a good tip. Have a smoothie in the morning. Before I got pregnant, I was like, meh, chocolate, I don't need chocolate. Now, the past 2 weeks, man, I've been craving chocolate like crazy. Like absolutely crazy craving chocolate. And I've been trying not to give in to my cravings too much. Over there, there's just a big packet of Maltesers and I've been dipping into them. But I'm trying not to overdose on sugar and things like that. And I've been eating really healthily, like making sure I get all my vegetables and things, and blah, blah, blah. So I feel like I'm doing really well with my diet and stuff at the moment. Like, you know, well, not diet to lose weight, but diet to be healthy. So I'm feeling a lot better than I was at week 14. Probably because I got my cheeseburger that I really wanted. And because I've been having the smoothies, and also because I feel like I've sorted out a few things like in my own brain. And I also had a meeting with the mental health team, basically, you know, because I said that I was going to go forward and have a backup plan kind of thing, and I met with this lady and she was really lovely. And a lot of the time I find that sometimes mental health professionals can make you feel really down on yourself, like they can talk down to you or make you just feel like really, I don't know, crazy in a way. Ooh, another thing, leg cramps. Leg cramps. Been getting lots of leg cramps. Ow. And people say that's only supposed to start when you're further along. It doesn't. It doesn't. Starts now and it never ends. My brain is like a goldfish. Goldfish brain. Anyway, I went to my mental health one-on-one. I took Niall this time. And it was the big daddy one where she asked me every question under the sun. Like asked me about everything in my teens, asked me about all of these things that I've done. She asked me about like my suicide attempts when I was a teenager. Lots of things. And like asked me about the sporadic things that I used to do like when I was younger. Like the time where I was a bit manic and I just wanted to escape. I bought a ticket to London and I got on a train to London to get away. got off at Euston and got straight back on another train back up here. So I didn't even like walk around London for the day. I just kind of went from Manchester to London and came all the way back because like I just wanted to escape, and I just thought, you know what, I'm gonna go to London, and I just came straight back up because I think that at the time I got off the train, I didn't have enough confidence to go around London on my own because I was a bit scared, but somehow I had this crazy confidence to just go all the way down there, come all the way back up. Like, that's safe for a 17-year-old girl to do. But basically, like, you know, I had to bring up stories in the past and stuff, and I feel sorry for Niall because he just sat there and he was just gonna like thinking I was crazy, and I was talking about all those sporadic, you know, trips I made to different countries and things. But she said that I was very in control, and that it sounds like I was more out of control when I was a teenager, and that things have probably leveled out. She said that I'm definitely like, you know, bipolar, all of these things that I already know, and then says she wants to refer me to psychology because she thinks that would be good. She says mostly because I'm pregnant, not because of my actual mental condition, well, my mental state of mind. So I met with the mental health person, and they said that they think that maybe it'd be a good idea for me to go to psychology and blah blah blah, but she said that she thinks I'm pretty stable. It's more so for the pregnancy thing, and you know, like any worries I might have about postnatal depression and postpartum psychosis, basically, just so that I have something in place. But she thinks that I'm quite strong. She said it's really refreshing to hear that someone's, you know, doing other things instead of just taking tablets, like trying to avoid the whole medication side of things. And she said she doesn't think that I need them. She thinks I'm fully in control. And she also wrote down her name and gave me a number so I can call her whenever I feel like I need someone to speak to, which was really, really good. Like, I didn't expect like to have that option at all. Like, I feel like the mental health system has failed so many people, and like, you know, a lot of people don't want to get help when they have like mental health issues because they just feel belittled by people. Like, a lot of people, you know, the only thing you can compare it to in this country is people that are looking for work and go to the job centre, and then people turn around and look down on them. Instead of helping them get work, they make them feel worse about themselves, and that's kind of a lot like the mental health system in this country. It's very rare that you find someone in this country that does the job properly and you can tell is there because they genuinely want to help people. She was definitely that type of psychiatrist. She was that type of person. So it was really, really reassuring for me to get such a lovely person to speak to, and she made me feel really like comfortable and blah blah blah. So that was really good. And she told me that, like, you know, postnatal depression can happen to anyone and everyone, whether or not they've got a mental underlying, you know, illness. So I shouldn't worry myself too much. And she said that I seem to have got a very strong mind, and that, you know, even though I do obviously have these problems, you know, like, she was worried about my speech because she said that I speak really, really, really fast. And then like she asked Niall what my speech was like, and then he turned around and basically said that like sometimes I'm really chilled and I speak really slowly, but then sometimes I'll speak really, really, really fast and he can't understand me. And then that's basically more or less what she was getting at. Like, she said that I was like, I appeared a bit manic, but I wasn't manic. It was like, I was like, that's my personality, like, and that's what I'm like. But then Niall was like, but sometimes you're just really chilled as well. So it's kind of like very up and down. And she said that could be down to anxiety as well, but it's also very common in bipolar people. But she said she wants to see me again in a couple of weeks' time, and by then I would have found out the gender of my baby too. She wants to see me again then, just to like monitor my speech, because she said that a lot of the time you can see things, like, you know, like how a person is like on the inside by the speech and the way that they're presenting themselves, and she just wants to keep a close eye on that with me, you know, because of the whole bipolar side, blah blah blah. Anyways, I'm going to show you the belly now. So I'm wearing quite a baggy top here. It's quite loose. Sorry, you can see my Licenza bra. You can pretty much see that my boobs have grown a lot. As for bump, my friend just told me that I'm lucky and this is what she looks like anyway on a normal day. It's still quite thin, like my back and stuff. Like, I've not really got any fat there or anything going on. I've noticed I've started to put a little bit of weight on at the sides, but I'm not really that arsed because it's going to help, you know, carry this bump. I'm actually showing more than my friend who's like 23 weeks. So this is going to be a whopper of a baby, I can already tell. My mum said that I was 8.5 pounds and 3 weeks late. So yeah, I don't know if they had the whole like, I think if you go over by 2 weeks now they induce you and stuff like that, but I was a super late baby and I ended up being pulled out with forceps and everything. Like, my entry into the world was super traumatic. But that's like a story for another day. But yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if this baby was the size of China. As long as it's healthy, I don't really mind. Maybe a little bit if it rips me in half, but it's pretty much inevitable really. Anyway, I'm chatting on for long enough. I think this is a long enough video. I'll see you guys at 16 weeks. If anyone's wondering, I did dye my hair again. That's why it's orange fading into yellow. These actually the faded orange, and then I kind of topped up the top of my head because I just kind of wanted to mess around a little bit. Still trying to figure out if I should dye all my hair orange again or if I should go a different colour. Someone suggested on one of my other videos that if I find out it's a boy I should dye my hair blue, and if I find out it's a girl I should dye my hair back to pink. I thought that was quite a cute idea, but I don't know because I don't really want pink hair again anytime soon. I always have bloody pink hair, it always ends up pink. I hope you're all having a wonderful day wherever you are, whatever you're doing. I'm off to chill with my boyfriend. Bye!